Welcome to another edition of the MVC Hoops Shootaround, brought to you by Purina. And thanks to all of you watching on MVCsports.com and the Valley's social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm Kelly Burke, and as many of you know, I'm joined by 2008 Valley Player of the Year and former Drake All-American Adam Emmenecker. Adam, I know you are transitioning tonight from youth basketball practice, and we're going to transition to some Valley hoops. But, I was reflecting back to about 8 months ago, and a team that will remain nameless left the Valley, and people out there, fans and media, were kind of freaking out a little bit concerned about where the direction of the conference was headed. And here we are now, approaching the midway point of the conference season, and a number of things have happened. The RPI strength, number 8 right now in the country, all 10 teams in the top 160, and only the ACC, Big 12, and SEC can say that. And then it's just a logjam in terms of the conference standing. So what do you make of the success in parity right now?
Yeah, well, Kelly, first and foremost, welcome to the Purina MVC Hoop Shoot-Around. We're obviously very excited to have you a part of this, and hopefully for folks around the league getting a chance to see you more and more a part of everything we do from all sports, not only from a basketball perspective. But to hit back on your question, I mean, how exciting is that, right? To have every team under the top 160 in the RPI, and to have every team over 10 wins at this point in the season. I think it's missed by 2 days for a record for the league to have to get to that double-digit win total. And I think in years past, certainly in the conference, we've seen that high upside, and we've seen teams like this team you mentioned that would remain nameless, and another team that moved out to a conference out east as well. And those teams would be in the in the top 15, the top 25, and that was kind of the hallmark of the MVC. But now the depth of the league and the ability for the league to go out and get those non-conference wins against Power 5 teams is just really impressive, and we're seeing how much home court advantage means and how just competitive these teams are night in and night out, and to show that from the top team in the conference right now at 6-2 to the bottom team at 2-6, there's only a 2-game separation between first and being in that play-in game come Thursday night in Arch Madness. So really, really fun to see the competitiveness. It means you're going to have great games night in and night out.
Yeah, and it's really, it'll become must-watch hoops here, not only in February, but as we go into the tournament in March. Let's talk, we're almost at the midway point of the season. We will be in a couple of days here. Who are the newcomers and the freshmen that have just kind of surprised you so far? And I know you and I are in agreement on a lot of these.
Yeah, so I'm going to call out 3 guys really, really quickly, and then I think there's another one you might mention. But I really like, so guys I've gotten a chance to see in person that I've really been excited about. Malik Yarborough, first and foremost, from Illinois State. Just the impact that he can have on the game, being that 6'5", 6'6" guard, good athleticism. He's long. I really like the way he creates for his teammates as well. He had a heck of a start to the league, and he's tailed off a little bit, but he's a guy that has the potential to be a really, really high-profile player for this league. A couple other freshmen, Cameron Krutwig from Loyola has had a fantastic year. He's coming off being MVC Newcomer of the Week this week. He's really been a guy that's been so relied upon for Porter Mosier and his crew, both with when Clayton Custer was out, but he was a big part of that win on the road against number 5 Florida. I really like what he's been able to do. And the last one, the guy that probably has gotten the most headlines from a freshman, is Tywan Pickford. So, it's well documented that he's the leading rebounder under 6'5" in the country. I don't know that anybody foresaw the monumental impact he was going to have on this UNI Panther ball club coming in his freshman year. And even though the Panthers are struggling at 6th in the league right now, look for Ben Jacobson and Tywan Pickford to right that ship. They're going to be right in the mix come the end of Valley season.
Yeah, and both of those freshmen, Loyola and Northern Iowa, relying on their freshmen and scoring a lot. I think over 20% of their scoring comes from those young guys.
And it's exciting to see for those type of guys to be the hallmark for the league going forward. We've been blessed. One of the really fun things about watching this league, you get to see guys mature over 4 years. And you look at a couple of teams that we'll talk about maybe here in a second that have had those guys stay together for 3 and 4 years, and you really start to see the fruits of their labor. We're going to get to know Cameron Krutwig and Tywan Pickford really, really well over the next 4 years.
Yes, and I want to give a quick shout out to, if we had to add a fourth person, it would be Kavion Pippin from SIU. You know, their team obviously decimated by injuries. He's a JC transfer. He's Scottie Pippen's nephew, and third on the team in scoring, leads them in rebounding and shot blocking, and he's really been a difference maker and why they're kind of in the middle of the pack right now in that Valley race.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really like his length and athleticism and just the impact in their wins. He's the cornerstone. He's the hallmark. He's the one that's really setting the stage for Coach Barry Hinson.
All right, well, let's go into our final talking point. You know, let's give some Player of the Year props. Obviously, Alize Johnson, the preseason Player of the Year. But another player out there, Drake, really obviously making a case with the turnaround he's helped Drake make this year.
Yeah, so a couple of teams with some really good seniors. So I just recently did the Missouri State Drake game here in the Knapp Center in Des Moines, and boy, what a fun atmosphere to see those two teams go at it. And put another plug in for a game coming up this Wednesday. Loyola's coming to Des Moines, so for the Drake Bulldogs, a really good chance. Are they for real? Is this 6-2 record just an aberration to have two back-to-back first-place games? But a big reason why they got here is Reed Timmer. Reed Timmer's been absolutely unbelievable this year, scoring the ball so consistently, but he's also picked up his playmaking ability and the clutch shot-making down the stretch, which has allowed this team to win some games that maybe they would have lost in past years. And how can you say anything more about Alize Johnson? He by far is the best talent in this league right now. 6'9", he can shoot it, he can take you off the bounce. Obviously, he struggled a little bit here in Des Moines, but this guy has a super bright future, and he's going to continue to dominate the league over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, you look to it, his numbers when he's playing at home in Springfield, just unbelievable, the stat line he's putting up.
Yeah, Alize Johnson, in the game here in Des Moines, he had 2 points and 11 rebounds, which is a shock for him. The last time he was in Des Moines, he had 23 points and 21 rebounds. So the guy can put up big-time numbers, and he's a guy that every single Valley coach goes to bed and has nightmares about if they have to face him that week. Alize Johnson is unbelievably difficult to stop.
Well, Adam, always great to talk to you, and let's do it again soon. I'm sure in another week here, we're going to have a whole lot of new stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it's always fun. No shortage of surprises in the Missouri Valley every year. Congratulations and welcome again to Kelly. Looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much. Well, this has been the MVC Hoops Shootaround, brought to you by Purina Dog Chow, always crafted in the USA since 1926.